This week, Fine Gael TD Maeve O'Connell released a statement calling for what she described as a crackdown on knife crime. She was responding to the recent stabbing of a probationary Garda on Capel Street, which took place in her constituency and which she rightly described as deeply disturbing and yet another reminder that knife crime is not a distant issue. She went on to say that, quote, "The fact that our Gardaí are being injured with bladed weapons more and more often is deeply disturbing. We need to keep up the crackdown on knife crime." Now, of course, Deputy O'Connell is absolutely correct. From the Parnell Square school stabbing to the box cutter incident in Stoneybatter to the Indian man who was attacked in Tala recently and now this latest Capel Street attack on a Garda, it certainly feels like random knife crime is becoming more and more common in this country. I think no reasonable person would dispute that at this point, and it's very welcome to see a government TD like Maeve O'Connell acknowledge that reality where many others would prefer to ignore it or pretend that it wasn't happening. It's good that she's at least thinking about an issue that matters to the public. But then she said this: "The news last week that over 1,000 weapons have been handed in as part of a UK amnesty operation shows that taking these weapons off our streets is possible and we need to act now." So, in other words, her proposed solution appears to be that Ireland should look to the UK for inspiration, a country that has become synonymous with knife crime. Just to put this in context, there were over 53,000 knife-related offences in England and Wales last year, an 89% increase in the last decade. And despite years of education campaigns, public appeals, voluntary surrender bins and school visits, the problem has only gotten exponentially worse. The deputy also said that the problem required strong enforcement, tougher checks at points of sale to control the flow of these weapons, and a renewed focus on prevention and education, particularly among young people. But here's the thing, knife crime isn't rising because too many people forgot to attend a school assembly about it, and it's not happening because shops are selling too many bread knives. It's happening because violent criminals don't believe they'll face serious consequences for their crimes. And unfortunately, they're usually right in that assumption. In this country, even if someone engages in serious violence, they often walk away with a fully suspended sentence or a light slap on the wrist, as we've seen time and time again. That's the actual problem here. You don't solve this by hoping offenders will simply hand in their weapons voluntarily. You don't solve it with leaflets and awareness campaigns. You solve it with high Garda visibility, with real prison capacity, with mandatory sentencing for serious crimes, and with a justice system that treats illegally carrying a weapon the way it ought to be treated, as a serious offence that demands a serious response. So politicians like the deputy are right to be worried about knife crime, but if we're going to be following the UK's approach as some kind of model, then let's be honest about what that model has led to, because the numbers speak for themselves and they don't paint a success story, to put it mildly. Until we get serious about enforcement, this kind of policy theatre isn't going to make a blind bit of difference.